Starting your prepping journey can feel overwhelming, especially with everything getting so expensive. Choosing those first essential items wisely is key to building a strong foundation. In today's video, I'll show you how to spend your first $200 on prepping gear. We'll cover high-impact must-have items that'll give you a solid start, and I'll include some next steps to expand your preps later. Let's get started. Let's start with first aid and health supplies. A basic first aid kit is one of the most essential items to any prepper. In an emergency, when help isn't immediately available, having your own kit can make a huge difference. Look for a kit that includes essentials like bandages, antiseptic wipes, gauze, and basic pain relievers. These cover you for small injuries, scrapes, and minor cuts that can happen at any time. Once you have your basic kit, it's time to extend your health supplies to some individual medications. Stock up on over-the-counter pain relievers like ibuprofen, which is great for headaches and inflammation, and antihistamines for allergies. And if you take any prescriptions, try to keep an extra supply on hand. Most of us already have a few of these items at home, but start thinking about building a dedicated supply just for emergencies. A well-rounded first aid kit doesn't just cover injuries, it also helps you manage common ailments that can easily become big problems if left untreated. Lighting is one of those things you don't really think about until it's gone. In a power outage, especially at night, having a reliable light source is a game changer. I think many people underestimate how different life feels without light. Growing up, my family always kept a long-term food supply, but I never really thought of it as prepping. It was just our emergency food storage. But before I got into prepping as an adult, I experienced a power outage that really opened my eyes. It was pitch black, and I knew I had a couple flashlights somewhere, but finding them in the dark was like finding a needle in a haystack. And of course, when I finally did find one, the batteries were dead. These days, we all have a small flashlight on our phones, but those drain battery life quickly, which isn't ideal in an emergency. That's why I recommend starting with a pack of small, affordable flashlights. Stash them around the house in easy-to-find spots so that when you need them, they're close by. And make sure to grab plenty of batteries for them as well. You don't want to repeat my experience with dead batteries. Along with flashlights, stock up on some candles, lighters, and matches. These give you another layer of lighting, especially for extended power outages. Once you've got the basics covered, it's worth adding a few upgrades. Headlamps and LED lanterns are great for hands-free lighting, which come in handy when you're moving around or working on something. A small solar charger is another solid addition, giving you a way to recharge essentials like phones or rechargeable batteries, even if the grid is down. And if you're looking to go even further, a gas or solar generator is ideal for powering large devices, though they are a bigger investment. These extra layers ensure you'll have light no matter the circumstances. Being able to cook in an emergency is more than just a convenience, it's essential. A hot meal can keep you going and boost morale, and having a way to boil water is crucial for safety and hygiene. For cooking, start with a simple butane or propane camping stove. These are compact, portable, and easy to use, and they don't require a lot of setup. Grab a few fuel canisters to go with it, and you'll have everything you need to prepare basic meals and boil water even if the power is out. When researching prices, I was honestly shocked to see how high propane prices have gone. A 3-pack of 1-pound propane bottles now costs around $34, which is a lot more than what it used to be. Because of this, I suggest starting with a butane stove, which tends to be more affordable. But there's a trade-off. If you're in a colder climate, butane can struggle to function well at lower temperatures, so keep that in mind when choosing. Once you have your burner and some initial fuel, consider expanding your fuel supply over time. Propane and butane both have long shelf lives, so they're great options for storing as backups. Building a reserve of fuel will give you peace of mind in prolonged outages. Cooking isn't just about food, it's about warmth, safety, and having the ability to keep going even when circumstances aren't ideal. Staying informed during an emergency can make all the difference. In a crisis, information is one of the most valuable resources you can have, and having multiple ways to communicate is essential. Start with a basic hand crank weather radio. This type of radio gives you multiple ways to stay powered, including batteries, chargers, and the hand crank option if other power sources aren't available. It's a reliable tool to keep you updated on emergency alerts and weather conditions. When infrastructure is down, weather radios are often the quickest and most reliable source of information. For communication within your household or group, a pair of walkie-talkies is invaluable. These give you an easy way to stay connected locally, whether you're coordinating tasks around your property or keeping track of each other in an emergency situation. Walkie-talkies are also useful if you're out of cell range or if cell towers are down, allowing you to communicate without relying on outside networks. And don't forget a map. In today's world, we're so accustomed to GPS that we often overlook having a physical map on hand. If GPS is down, a map can help navigate unfamiliar areas and find alternative routes in an emergency. As you build your communication setup, a Baofeng ham radio is a powerful next step for long-range communication. These radios offer flexibility and reach, so you can connect with people over greater distances even if other networks are down. They do require a bit of training and, in some cases, a license to operate, but for preppers, it's a worthwhile addition that brings peace of mind. Next up is self-defense. Being prepared for any situation includes having tools to protect yourself and those around you. A good starting point is pepper spray. It's affordable, effective, and easy to carry. It offers a basic layer of defense that can be used quickly if needed. When you're ready to take things up a notch, a pew-pew is the ultimate option for personal protection. Just remember, owning one comes with responsibility, so make sure to train regularly and handle it safely. Building confidence with your tools is key to being truly prepared. At the time of this recording, I went ahead and added everything from our basic list into an Amazon shopping cart, and it all came out to just under $200. I'll include the complete list in the video description so you can easily add these items to your cart if you're ready to start prepping. You'll also find a separate list of the next step items. These aren't included in the $200 total, but they're solid additions as you continue building your prepping supplies. Having these items will hopefully make it easier to plan and prioritize as you get started. You probably noticed that food and water weren't part of today's gear list. That's because they're really the foundation of any prepping plan, and ideally, they should be prioritized from the start. I always recommend building up at least a 3-week supply of food and water, and then expanding from there. To begin, stock up on shelf-stable foods like canned goods, dried rice and beans, and pasta. These foods are affordable, easy to store, and can keep you going in an emergency. For water, aim for at least 1 gallon per person per day just for drinking. Keep in mind that doesn't include water for sanitation, cooking, or other needs, so adjust your supply as necessary. A simple way to get started is by grabbing 1-gallon water bottles. Just avoid the milk carton style ones as those tend to break down over time. Early on, I'd also suggest getting a Sawyer Mini or Life Straw. These filters are portable and can handle thousands of gallons of water, so if you ever need to rely on an unknown water source, you'll have a safe way to make it drinkable. Once you've established a basic food and water supply, think about upgrading your storage. Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers are great for long-term food storage, and for water, food-safe containers such as the 55-gallon drum can be a substantial reserve for extended emergencies. With these essentials, you'll have a solid foundation for tackling any emergency that comes your way. Prepping is a journey, so start with these basics and keep building as you go. Each step gets you closer to a resilient, well-prepared setup, and every addition strengthens your overall plan. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with others. Join the Texan Prepper community by hitting that subscribe button and leave us a comment down below. Keep an eye out every week for another video on emergency preparedness. Stay safe, keep prepping, and I'll see you on the next one.